Be with you 2 seconds, guys. Okay. I'm tuned in thinking, where's that voice coming from? Hopefully you're all okay this morning. It's a little bit dreary outside, isn't it? Let's turn the volumes off on my phone. We'll just link up with the Facebook page and then I can see if any of you have. Someone's just tagged me on Facebook. Do you ever have that feeling of not being able to sit down on the loo? Thanks, Shelley Boke. Well, you are very welcome, Donna. That is going back a couple of years. Not that we haven't worked hard, just that I haven't seen poor Donna because she's a frontline NHS nurse. So getting to class is very, very difficult for her. Right, so I think I have got you. There we go. So, excuse me, work as hard as you feel comfortable. I'm going to give you options throughout, okay? Now, if you do have any kind of lower back injury, there's going to be adaptations all the way through. So look for those, listen for those. I know it's very difficult because a few people have said to me, we like doing the Pilates at home, but, and I understand this but completely, you're supposed to have your head in line with your body, but you're trying to look at a screen at the same time. It's really quite difficult. I have it when I'm teaching. I'm trying to keep best technique that I can, but I have to keep looking to the camera. So all I can say is, get the first couple by looking to see what we're doing and listening to those instructions. And then once you've got it, keep that head in the right position and work with it from there, okay? I'm gonna guide you through everything, so don't worry. Okay. So, yeah, level 1 will be your beginner option and then we'll advance it on from there. So hopefully you're all ready to go. We do a little bit of a mobility warm-up. Not a great big warm-up where we're going to start sweating. It's just literally just to get the body prepared for the movements that we're going to make. All right? And we've got quite a few exercises today where we're going to work on the glutes and the hamstrings, just to work those lower body areas and hips as well as the core, obviously, and your obliques and your lumbar spine that we always do it anyway. So, drink handy. Please feel free to take a rest, take a drink at any time. Let's get you in that standing position. Let's get ready to go. Nice and upright, nice and tall. Toes and knees point forwards. Shoulders down and relaxed. Make sure that you are balanced and central. I hope I've got the volume of the music okay for you. It's really difficult because I'm stood in front of the speakers, so I never know until I look back whether or not the music was at the right volume. So just let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. Staying in that upright position. All we're going to do is tilt the pelvis. Oh, I've got very tight tummy muscles today. Tilt the pelvis forwards and backwards to find the position where your back feels the most comfortable. So we did a HIIT session yesterday with gliders. They really do work from your core. Something's just flashed up. Oh, software update. Not right this minute, I hope. Good. Yes, we did some gliding and we did Pilates yesterday, so it's all kind of core muscles, neutral spine. So neutral spine is tilting the pelvis, finding the comfortable position for your back. Core engagement, we begin with your pelvic floor. So that is the muscle from within, the one you would use to stop mid-flow. Okay, so I want you to imagine that that muscle is attached to a lift, 10 floors. And I want you to pull it up from within as high as you can to floor number 10. So it's going as high as possible. I forgot to start my watch again, didn't I? You're going to lower it down to the 5th floor, down to the 3rd floor, and hold it there. So you know you're holding it. You can feel some tension, that it's being drawn up, but it's not too uncomfortable, and you can work with it. Then imagine a belt around your middle, 10 notches on the belt. So you're going to draw that belt in as tight as you can to notch 10. You're going to take it out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and leave it there. So what you're left with is a feeling of tension, a feeling of tightening around the centre of the body, okay? And that's your core muscles then, all zipped up and pulled in tight, all right? 30% level 3, notch 3, that just makes it maintainable. If you have it too far, you're not going to be able to maintain it throughout the whole session. And the stronger you get, the further you'll have to then work to be able to engage it, okay? So, making sure that the body weight stays central, core muscles are in place, neutral spine is in place, your breathing then needs to come from your rib cage. So all we do is place our hands on the ribs, fingertips touch, we take a deep breath in from the ribs, fingertips will part, and release. So I'm not moving my hands, I'm actually breathing from my rib cage, and release. So relax those arms down. Just gently begin to pivot through from one side to the other. Allow those shoulders to gently rotate in one direction and the other direction. Lovely. Place the feet down, lift all the way up onto your toes, lengthen the body and release. Lift up, lengthen the body and release. One more time, lift and lengthen and release. We're going to take a nice big lunge forward on that right leg. I want you to drop the back knee, push yourself back into the middle. Step forward, drop the back knee, bring yourself back into the central. So we're keeping that body lengthened and upright. Step and drop. Good. You're going to do one more on each side for me, please. This is just a nice big lunge. Not holding it too long, just stretch up through the front of the thighs. And then we step out to the side, reach up and over, into the middle, and change sides. Up, into the middle, and change sides. Good. So as you move the leg, bend the leg that you move, that you step out with, lengthen the inner thigh on the leg that stays still. Last one here. And release into the middle. Arms up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, rotate to one side. Breathe in, come to the centre. Breathe out, rotate to the other way. Breathe in, come to the centre. Good. Breathe out, rotate. Try and keep those hips fixed and still. Breathe in to return. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, return. Do one more to each side, keeping those core muscles zipped up, pulled in, and then in the centre, release the arms down. So with your left foot, take it forward, point the toe, circle the leg round, lift the knee up and balance. Toe comes forward, circle the leg round only as far as comfortable for you, lift your knee and balance. Good, one more time, toe forward, circle round, lift the knee, balance, hold it here. And let's just mobilise the ankle. Rotate one way and the other. And replace the foot down. Good. Other leg comes forward, point the toe, circle round, lift the knee and balance. Toe comes forward, circle round, lift the knee and balance. And again, toe forward, circle round, lift, balance, hold it here. Ankle one way. Might hear a crunch or two, and the other, and then place the foot down. So you're going to stand towards the back of your mat. Breathe in, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently begin to roll down through your back. Soften your knees, allow the arms to hang and relax, and when you're ready, begin to gently roll back up through the spine. Gently rebuild the back, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to the top. Relax the shoulders when you get there. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down. At your lowest point, allow those arms to hang relax. Then when you're ready, carefully begin to roll back up. Rebuild your spine vertebrae by vertebrae. As you get to the top, relax the shoulders. So what we do this time is we roll down and then we're going to make our way down to the floor, okay? So breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down. And then at your lowest point, you're going to walk your hands forwards and lower those knees down to the floor. So you're keeping your knees at hips distance apart. You're keeping those arms shoulders distance or chest distance apart. The wrist, the elbow, shoulder, all in line. Straight line, not a diagonal, yeah? Back is flat, core is engaged. Breathe in, breathe out to push one leg all the way back behind you. And then breathe in to drag the leg back in. Now I always start at the beginning so that you can gauge how you feel. Like today, for example, for me, I've already said my core hurts, have got backache and I'm feeling a bit woozy. So I might find, for me, staying at that low level is enough. I can still feel my core muscles work as I push and pull my leg away. If you want the next level, breathe out, fully extend. Breathe out to lift. No higher than the body, and I don't want you to adjust your position. Breathe in, touch down, and drag it back in. Breathe out, push along the floor, and raise. Breathe in, toe touches down at the furthest point, and then drag it back in. Breathe out to lengthen, and raise. Breathe in to lower, and return. So your level 1 is just to keep the leg down. Level 2, add the leg raise. Today, I said we're going to focus on the core, the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, alright, so the lower half of the body. So I want you to lengthen and lift. I then want you to breathe out to bend, and then lengthen, and then lower, and draw it back in. Breathe out to lengthen and raise. So you're going to breathe in to bend. Breathe out to lengthen. Breathe in to lower and drag it back in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. So your breathing is controlled. Your movement is controlled by your breathing. You use the depth and the pace of your breathing to dictate the pace of your movement. Remembering that with Pilates, slow is good. Deep, full breaths. Now you could slide the opposite hand out along the floor at the same time as the leg extends, drawing it back in at the same time. Final option, you could raise the arm at the same time as that leg. Obviously remember, if you don't want to lift that leg, you don't have to. Keep working where you're comfortable. You could just continue with a straight lift only. Or you've got the option of the curl, just to add into the work through the legs and the glutes, the bottoms. So I'm going to ask you please for one more at your level on each leg. Well done. And once you've completed those 2, you're going to carefully bring yourself down. Forearms and elbows are down. You're going to keep looking down towards the floor, and you've got to keep your neck in line with the spine. So don't hang it down. Don't crank it up. Look to the floor so the neck is in line with the rest of the back, okay? Also, keep your head still. Breathe in. As you breathe out, draw up the pelvis and hold. So the pelvis is drawn up, the tummy is tightened. Breathe in, breathe out, lower the hip to one side. Breathe in to return. Breathe out, lower the hip to the other side. Breathe in to return. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to return. So your hip is dropping and returning to the middle each time. What we're not doing is moving our head to look down our body. We're just allowing the hip to gently drop from one side to the other, coming back to your central point each time. Now, if you wanted to go further, you could bring those knees up off the floor and work from there. Breathe out as you lower, in as you return. Only to where you are comfortable. Now, keeping the core engaged, we're working the core, the lumbar spine, and with the hip drop, we're incorporating the obliques, the waist, the sides of your body. And I'm going to ask you, please, in your hip drop, for one more to each side at your level. Once you've completed those two, gently lowering down onto your front. Now, once you've got the grasp of it, you're going to keep your head down. Okay? You're going to bring the hands into the small of the back, and I want you to bring your legs together so they stay together as much as possible, and point the toes away. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to raise those legs. Your pelvis is going to push down a little bit, but I want you to draw your belly button up. So imagine there's a freezing cold marble underneath your belly button, so just draw up and tighten the core. So legs where they are now is your start and finish position. Remember, try and keep the legs together. Breathe in, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, breathe in and lengthen. They lengthen back out, but they don't lower down. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, breathe in and lengthen. So this is your double leg kick, working directly into the backs of the thighs and your bottoms, as well as your core. So you've got to make sure that belly button is drawn up. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Good, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Strengthen right into the center of the body through the core. Double leg kick. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more breaths. Rest, of course, if you need to. When you've done your 2, allow your legs to lower back down. Release those arms. Back onto the forearms and elbows. We're simply going to hold a leg pull, okay? So when you're ready, draw up the pelvis. There's your level 1. Make sure your bottom stays down. Don't round the spine, flatten the back. Level 2, get those knees off the floor. If you want level 3, you're coming all the way up onto those hands and toes. Make sure that the head and neck are in line with the spine. Pull up through the core. On all those levels, it should feel like the belly button is being drawn up towards the ceiling. Now, if you were up on your hands, make sure that those hands are still only chest distance apart. Sometimes I see people do it with their arms out really wide. No. Sometimes I see people do it with their legs out wide in a triangle shape. No. I want it straight line from the head all the way down. Or knees are down level 1, up at level 2. So using your deep, full breaths, please complete up to 3 more repetitions of your leg pull at your level. Don't rush your breathing to get it done. I know all the cheats, don't you worry. Deep, full breaths. Once you've completed your 3, you're going to gently lower all the way down onto your side. And you're going to lengthen out. Now, you should be in a straight line. I am going to have to go slightly diagonally to be able to get my body in a straight line because of the space I've got. Okay? Head rest down on the arm. That hand, palm up, because I don't want you clawing at the floor for help here. Hips, knees, ankles all stacked. Hand is there for balance, okay? So the body is in a straight line. Core muscles are in place. You're going to be using your waist. You're going to be using the side of the leg. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift both legs up without rolling forwards or backwards, okay? Now we're going to move from the top leg only. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to return. Breathe out to lift, point the toe away, breathe in to return. If that feels okay, you're not rolling your hips forwards or backwards, you're staying still, that bottom leg is raised and still, then perhaps you could take that arm away. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. If it still feels good, bring the arm over. This is why we do it gradually, so that you can find that level where one, you can work effectively, and two, you're not losing the technique along the way. You're not jumping straight into a high level to then realise you're breathing incorrectly or you've forgotten to engage your core. Last option, arm can come up at the same time as the leg, just point the fingers to the ceiling, and then gently lower. Breathe out to lift. That bottom leg is just lifted, held and still. Working through the core, the lumbar spine, the obliques, that's your waist, remember? And down the side of the leg, around that hip area. Breathe out as you raise. Breathe in as you lower. So with your top leg raised, I'm going to ask you please for one more repetition. Once you've completed that, if you move the arm away, bring it back, and then allow those legs to lower. Okay? So I want you to bend and bring over your top leg. But I don't want you to roll into that leg. I still want core muscles zipped up and that body, chest open, facing forwards, not facing the floor. Bottom leg, point the toe away. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise it. As you breathe in, lower an inch from the floor. Breathe out to lift, breathe in to lower. Now we've got to try and keep this leg as straight as possible. You are restricted in how high that leg can lift because you've got that top leg bent over. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Hand is there to stop you rolling forwards. Remember, chest open. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. Point those toes away. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you release. Head and neck in line with your spine. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and in place. Breathe out as you raise, breathe in as you release. So we are working the inner thigh on this bottom leg, okay? And I'd like 2 more breaths, 2 more movements. And once you've completed those 2, you can bend that leg. Good. So we're going to do one more exercise here, which is going to be for our hip. I want you to keep your top leg straight and tuck your bottom leg under. I would like you to point your toes forwards so the sole of that foot is facing the outside wall. Head stays down on the arm. Hand is there for balance. Breathe in, breathe out and lift that top leg. Chest open, straight line with the body until you get to the ankle, the heel, and the toes point forwards. Breathe in. As you breathe out, I want you to create about 5 circles with the leg. Breathe in and hold when you run out of breath, and then breathe out and go back the other way. Now that movement, guys, is coming from the top of my leg. I am not moving my ankle, I am not moving my knee. I rotate through my hip without letting the whole of my body gyrate on the floor. Good. So it goes one way, then it goes back the other. Up to 5 circles if you can, please. If you don't need that hand there, you can take it away. Maybe you could take it over. So I'd like 1 more set of circles. That's 2 breaths in each direction. Once you've completed those hip circles, you can allow that leg to lower, Just give that hip a little bit of a rub if you need to. And then you're going to push yourself to sit. Also grab a drink if you need one. Just going to talk continuously. My mouth's just going so dry. So sitting upright, lengthen your back. Chin up off the chest, look straight forward. Don't let your knees wobble, okay? Also, don't let your feet touch. Keep them hips distance apart. Breathe in, keep the chin off the chest, tuck the belly button in, lower spine tucks under. Breathe out to lower, only as far as you can go. Then breathe in, start to come up, and breathe out, continue all the way up. Lengthen the back, chin off the chest. Breathe in to tilt, breathe out to lower. Now if you can get all the way down, arms can go all the way over, then please feel free just to take that as far as you feel comfortable. But remember, however far you go down, you have got to get back up without moving these legs. If you prefer, it's a matter of comfort, not a matter of different level. If you prefer, you can have your legs out straight. Sometimes if you've got like a lower back issue or a short, tight hamstring, having your legs out straight is more comfortable. So try both options, see which one you prefer. Still challenge yourself by getting as far as comfortable. If you can only go to there though, guys, that is absolutely fine. Use that as a point of progression. Maybe that's how far you go today. Maybe you do this exercise 2 or 3 more times this week, and by next week you'll be going an inch further down. So use it as progression, use it to develop yourself. Give yourself something to aim for. Keep saying to yourself, in 2 weeks' time I'm going to be able to get all the way down to the floor. And believe me, if you practice it enough, you probably will. Strengthen through the core. Breathe in to tilt, breathe out to lower. You've got to remember to breathe, guys. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue to lift all the way up. So this is your roll up, strength from the core and the lumbar spine. We're lowering down through the back, and then we're engaging from the core to bring us all the way back up. So in your roll up, please complete 2 more repetitions. Breathing in to lower, breathing out to lower, breathing in to start the lift, breathing out to continue the lift. Once you've done those 2, you are going to stay in your seated position. If you have a problem with your wrists, your shoulders, all you're going to do, taking the arms back, point the fingers to the bottom, and just push back into the arms, elbows soft, and hold. Okay? So we're coming into reverse leg pull. Predominant muscle working here is going to be your tricep. You will feel some work around your shoulders, and you should feel some work coming from the core and the legs as well when they hold you up. So good all-rounder, but predominantly the tricep, back of the arm. Breathe in. As you breathe out, try and lift that bottom up. Don't hang the head. Head and neck in line with the spine. That bottom comes up as far as comfortable. If you can only go to there, that is fine. Again, use it as progression. So next time, get it up a little bit higher. You can stay here. Breathe and hold. If you want to go further, all we're going to do is add a heel raise. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one heel. Breathe in to release. Breathe out, lift the other heel. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to lift. Breathe into lower. Just that small movement, carry on. That small movement can compromise what you're trying to do with your core and your upper body, which is good because it makes us aware of how we're breathing, of how we're moving, of how we're engaging through those muscles, okay? If it's too much with that ankle raise, leave it out, guys, yeah? Just hold the position. I'm just going to ask you anyway for 2 more breaths. You know, if you wanted to go further, I haven't got time now, but you could lift both up at the same time. But I don't want to see the whole body moving. The body stays central and still. And then gently lower yourself down. Give those shoulders a little roll one way and the other. And then when you're ready, you're going to come all the way down onto your back. And we're bending our legs, making sure that our trousers don't fall down and that our bellies don't fall out. Good. I can't always be serious, guys. I try, but it doesn't last very long. Shoulders down and relaxed. Legs are bent. Again, hips distance apart. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift one leg up into a right angle position. The shin of that leg is facing the ceiling. Now, if you're a first timer, you should be able to reach your knee, guys, okay? If you can't reach it, your leg is too far away. If you can reach it easily and you've got a big bend on your elbow, leg is too close, okay? It's quite nice if you've got a mirror or something, you can always stand on the floor and check your posture with that if you prefer. Try not to let the heel drop. Hold that leg in place. Now, this is level 1 of the 100. This is all we're doing. We're just breathing and holding this leg in place. Core muscles are helping to keep that leg up. Neutral spine, comfortable back. Should be able to touch those fingertips together. Yeah? Good. If you want to go further, breathe in, breathe out, lengthen and hold. Knees parallel if you can, please. That leg shouldn't be lower than the other leg though, alright? If it's too much, stay with the bent leg. You can breathe in. As you breathe out, bring up the upper body, palms face the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can do this with your leg lengthened at 45 degrees. Or keep that leg bent. But one more option for you where you bring the other leg up into right angle. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in. Everything working together. With or without that leg, with or without the upper body, you can always stay at level 1. Listen to your body. Maybe you can do 5 at a higher level, but then you need to come back down a level. And that is absolutely fine, guys. I'm going to ask you, please, at your level, for 2 more breaths. Once you've completed your 2, if you've got both legs lifted, bent foot comes down. Upper body lowers. Don't rush because we're keeping this leg up. Bring that leg back to bent. Keeping it bent in the knee. Breathe in. Breathe out. Touch the foot down. Breathe in. Bring it back up. Breathe out. Touch the foot down. Breathe in. Lift it up. Now, all the time, you are maintaining the angle behind your knee. I don't want you to move from your knee. I want you to move from the top of the leg through the hip flexor. Keeping the other leg nice and still. Got a little bit of cramp starting in my foot. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to lift. If you want to go further, I want you to keep that leg, the other leg down and still. Just bring up the upper body. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to raise. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to raise. The reason I want you to keep this other leg down, even if you're at an advanced level, is I really want you to focus on that movement and where the movement is coming from and where the strength is coming from. Very often we'll push ourselves to the max, we'll struggle and strain, and we won't even be breathing properly. We'll be rushing our breathing, we'll be using short breaths to try and get it over and done with, but it doesn't work as effectively. Whole breath out to lower, whole breath in to lift up. Sometimes it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, don't I? You're going to do one more for me here, with or without the upper body being raised. Once you've completed that one, allow that leg to lower. You might feel that thigh's a little bit tight, give it a rub. When you're ready, the other leg comes up. Right angle, starting with our first exercise, which was the 100. So we're keeping that leg still. Shoulders down, relaxed. Core muscles engaged. Level 1 is here. If you want to go further, you're going to lengthen that leg out 45 degrees. Try and keep your knees parallel. Level 2. If you want to go further, Upper body comes up, level 3, palms face the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keeping those legs still. If you prefer, add the pulse, so the upper body lifting and pulsing, yeah? With a bent leg if you prefer. Only if you have that leg out straight, you can go to the next level and bring the other leg up and keep it bent and still. Don't drop the heel. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, you don't have to have the upper body raised. You don't even have to have that leg extended. You can keep it in that bent right angle position. Deep, full breaths. Strengthen from the core and the lumbar spine. Well done. So I'm going to ask you, please, at your level, with deep, full breaths, for 2 more repetitions, please. 2 more breaths. Once you've done your 2, if you've got both legs up, the bent leg comes back down, upper body returns down, and bring that leg back to bent. Keep it bent. Right angle in the knee. Breathe in, breathe out, touch the leg down, the foot touches down, breathe in, lift. I am not moving my knee, I am moving from the top of the leg. I am Groot. We are moving from the top of the leg, allowing that foot to touch down and lift back up. Engage the core, pull up through the pelvic floor, tighten the belt through the middle of the body. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to raise. If you want to go further, bring up the upper body, chin off the chest, both chins, good. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to raise. Good. Some people now, they haven't even got chins, have they? Their head and their necks are just merging into one. Breathe out to lower. I'm not naming names. Breathe in as you come up. There is one in this house though, it's not me. Breathe out as you lower. Breathe in as you lift. Good. So I'm going to ask you, please, this is called scissor. For 3 more breaths, with or without that upper body raised. Once you've completed those 3, you can allow that leg to lower. And if you would like to, give yourself a long body stretch. Well done. So we have got 3 exercises to do on the other side, okay? So when you're ready, just roll on to the other side. Lengthen the body out in a nice long line. Resting the head down on the arm. Point the fingers, point the toes. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs without rolling forwards or backwards. Zip up, pulling through the core. Now with your top leg, breathe in. As you breathe out, raise. As you breathe in, release. You might find that this leg is a bit more mobile. You can take it a little bit higher. It is natural to have one side slightly stronger than the other. Good. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you release. Without rolling those hips. So as long as the body's staying central and in place, you can take that supporting arm away. A little roll forwards or back, then you'll need to take that hand back down. Or make that movement a little bit smaller, guys. Arm could come over, so we're then in this torpedo position. Licorice torpedoes, oh, they are lovely, aren't they? Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you release. Your last option here, guys, is to raise the arm. Just allow those fingers to point to the ceiling. And then bring that arm back down at the same time as the leg. Remember, slow and steady. Hold breath out to lift. Hold breath in to release. Point the fingers, point the toes. Breathe out to raise. Breathe in to lower. So with this side leg raise, with or without the arm there, I'm going to ask you please for 2 more repetitions, working the waist, around the top of this leg, down the side of that leg. When you've done your 2, allow those legs to lower and bring that top leg over. Chest open, so you're not rolling the body down. If you went to maybe a legs, bumps and tums class, your technique, your posture may be slightly different, but we're aiming to keep the chest open. Now that bottom leg is stayed in line with the body, and I want you to point your toes away. I feel like I'm slightly on the hood. Right, breathe in, that's better. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you release. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you release. Now don't take it quite all the way to the floor. Breathe out to raise, breathe in to lower. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and engaged. Breathing out as we allow that leg to lift up. Breathing in as we carefully release. Strengthening down the side of that leg, the inner thigh. We've still got the core and the lumbar spine working because they're helping to keep the posture, keeping the chest open instead of allowing the body to roll forwards. And we're still working into that waist. I'm going to ask you please, with this bottom leg, only lifting as far as comfortable, lowering maybe an inch or 2 from the floor. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more repetitions. Once you've completed the 2, you can then just gently release that leg. So your last one here is that hip circle. Where am I going? Bottom leg is tucked under, top leg is lengthened in line with your body, okay? So it's not forwards or back. Toes point forwards, head stays down on the arm. Breathe in, as you breathe out, lift that top leg, toes point forward, sole of the foot faces the wall. Breathe in, as you breathe out, rotate. Now we're mobilizing from your hip, breathe in and hold, and then breathe out and go back the other way. Breathe in and hold, breathe out and rotate. Breathe in and hold, breathe out and rotate. So you're changing the direction each time you stop. Now we're not moving the ankle, that ankle is still, toes point forward. Hand is there if you need it, take it away if you don't. Maybe you can take it all the way over. Moving from the top of the leg through that hip, strengthening through the core and the lumbar spine. Deep, full breaths. Hip circle. I'm going to ask you please for 1 more set of circles in each direction. Once you've done those 2, you can lower that leg and give it a little rub. If you need a big rub maybe, I don't know. Good. Once that's done, when you're ready, you're going to bring yourself round into a box position. From here, just take a little cat stretch, breathe in round the spine, take the chin to the chest. Breathe out and just release. Breathe in round that spine, chin to the chest. Breathe out and release. We're just going to sit back into the heels and leave the arms out in front. This is just going to give you an extra little stretch. This is called child's pose. This is going to stretch around your bottom. Now you could just drop over to one side to get a little bit of an extra stretch around that hip. Just if you feel you need it, okay? Then when you're ready, we're coming back to box position. We're tucking the toes under. We're walking the hands towards the feet. Now you're going to tuck your chin in. We're going to roll up to stand up, okay? If you need to hold on to anything, please feel free to do so. When you're ready, chin in, feet flat, breathe in, breathe out. Begin the process of gently rolling up through your back. Rebuild the spine, head and neck, up last. Once you're up, Relax the shoulders down. Make sure you're balanced and central. Don't want you spending the rest of your day slouched over or leaning over. Lengthen the posture. Keep a neutral spine. Try and keep the core muscles in place for as much of the day as you can. Lift up onto the toes. Are you balanced? Pretty much. And release. It's much easier to do this when you're not looking at a person in front of you who can't balance and wobbles all over the place. Good. Then this time lift up, balance, hold. Close your eyes if you can. Test that balance. And release. Well done. So that is your Pilates for today. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you found the level that you can work comfortably with, okay? We have got aerobics tomorrow morning, all right? If you've not done aerobics before, don't worry. There's a couple of things you can do. The first thing you can do is have a look back on our Facebook feed and find an aerobic session on there and just have a little look and get a feel for how we move. Second thing you can do is just join in. Just join in tomorrow morning and I'll break things down, we'll piece it together as we go. Because everybody was a beginner at some point, even me. Okay, I remember going to a class years ago. I first met my husband, he introduced me to fitness basically, and I couldn't get through a whole class. I couldn't do a whole hour class. I had to rest after about 20 minutes, and then gradually I built it up. And that's absolutely fine. And that's the beauty with these home workouts, is that no one knows what you're doing apart from yourself. So if you choose to cheat and then you're cheating yourself and you feel bad about that, then do better next time. But if you're wanting to try something new, it's a great opportunity to do it. Also though, it is great to come to the centre and do it, especially for things like Pilates, where I can physically see your technique and I can adjust you then if needed, all right? But that's for today. Tonight at Whitton we have got aerobics and legs, bumps and tums. I believe, just bear with me 2 seconds. I believe it's 6:15 and 6:15. So at 6:15, yes, 7:30 for the aerobic, the legs, bumps and tums. Okay, so tonight's class, the aerobics is for about 55 minutes, so nearly an hour. But then we'll just have a little clean around, ready for legs, bumps and tums at 7:30, which is also, I think it's 50 minutes. Yeah, just short of an hour. Anyway, we have fun. Please feel free to come along and join us. Pay on the day if you like. Book your space online. You just need your iCard number, okay? And then that would be that. So maybe I'll see you tonight. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Well done, guys. Take care. See you again soon.